So what sort of opportunities, sort of working with you and your associates, would be presented to, say, pharmacists, perhaps, and doctors and other people? What kind of opportunities do you see from a commercial point of view that is patient-centered, which is obviously clearly an important part of what you do?
Yeah, I think so. The average pharmacy in England, I think, has something like a 6,000 patient population associated with it. And of course, the average pharmacy could be a family-owned pharmacy, or it could be part of, a Boots or a Lloyd's large-scale chain. But the fact is, their 6,000 patients are different than. I always use the example of, if you're in central Coventry, your 6,000 patients there look entirely different than the 6,000 patients if you're in Swansea or Portsmouth. Being able to understand your 6,000 patients, what are the demographics in your area?
Yeah.
What is the level of socio-economic profile of your area? What's the level of education in your area? What type of disease areas are prevalent in your area?
Yeah.
Can you be predictive about what those 6,000 patients are going to walk through your door and want support with? These are all the type of things that data technology can provide. It's an ability, I think, to do micro marketing effectively, and to be able to provide tools and communication messages that better inform those 6,000 or so patients that you've got in your area. Now, there's a lot more to it than that. But as a starting point, I think that's the pivot point that happened in the pandemic.
Yeah.
There's still a desire in the patient population for a face-to-face interaction. There's reassurance in that face-to-face action. People are ill and are anxious and need that human interface to be able to feel like their journey is being managed. But at the same time, there's a whole raft of things that can inform that conversation, that can be done quicker, can be done on an aggregated level, bringing more data sources into the targeting process, for instance. Lifestyle triggers, all these type of things. These, you can see these in the data environment, and if you can provide that sort of visibility to your local community pharmacist, then your local community pharmacist has got a much better chance of being able to get better outcomes for the patients, and also, I think, of growing their business. Because every time a patient goes into a pharmacy, there's a very high chance that they're going to buy something else whilst they're in there. So that increase, or it might not be a natural increase in footfall, but it might be an increase in frequency of footfall, is fundamental to the pharmacist business model. So there are wins all over the place.
Yeah.
But it's fundamentally enabled by really understanding the local population better, so that those services can be tailored to that local population.